Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 28th. This week you have this helping hand card. It says, the universe is helping you find something you need that will lead to your next steps. You have this web of creation. It says, be aware of what you're weaving in your life to create better experiences. Yes, definitely. But the universe could be guiding you at this time, which is great. Or maybe you feel more guided, or like you feel like you're being pushed in a better direction. So I like to see that. I don't like the Nine of Swords, but you have the Nine of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. Well, believe it or not, going from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords actually kind of makes it a little bit better, because the Ten of Swords can be a blessing in disguise, and the Nine of Swords can be like a never-ending nightmare. But with the Ten of Swords here, it could say that you're ending the Nine of Swords, and you're seeing how maybe that period of time was actually a blessing, even if it was uncomfortable. So again, that it's not all bad. You have the Nine of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands. I literally said in the very first reading that I have had a feeling that all three water signs would get the Ace of Wands, and I wasn't wrong. All three water signs have had the Ace of Wands, and we will talk about it. The Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. It's like having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. I always say with the Nine of Swords that you can be the bug or the windshield. You can be the immovable force, or you can be the thing that's getting splatted on the window. There's a person right here who's hitting another person with a sword, and it basically says you have a choice. You can happen to life, or life can happen to you. And I would definitely make the choice of getting out of the bed on the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords really says that if there's something that is repeating in your life that you don't like, change it. And I know that's easier said than done, Scorpio, but that's pretty much what I would do with this card. I would say if there's something you don't like, change it and make it better. You have the High Priestess. The High Priestess kind of says, trust your intuition. We are in an extremely intuitive time, like an extra intuitive time with the energy in Pisces. So I would say any intuitive hits, like trust them. Like sometimes I think we get an intuitive hit and we're like, was that really intuitive or not? It is. So anything that you're feeling, anything that just randomly pops into your head, I would be trusting those things. I really feel it's a time for fixed signs, you being one of them, to reach their full potential. It's like the universe is really encouraging fixed signs specifically to get out there and to like really try to reach their full potential. Again, there's no roof over her head on the High Priestess, and the High Priestess kind of represents really going for something. She has unlimited potential. That's what the no roof over her head represents. But only, she can reach, there are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is her. So I feel for a lot of you, your readings really have been encouraging you to do this. The other thing is like, don't be afraid to peek behind the curtain. She has that tapestry behind her there. And sometimes with the High Priestess, I feel it's about like not just skimming the surface. We have to, like, if we want to accomplish something or do something or have love or have whatever we want in life, it kind of says we have to like look deeper into it. We have to do more research on it. And if you do that, then you will probably get a better result, Scorpio. So that's what I would be doing with that card. Like I said, all three water signs have had this card, and I said it on the very first reading I did today that all three water signs would have this card. So really, we are kind of like in a time where I feel water signs have to, are like trying to find their motivation again. And I would say, especially if you're the type of water sign that either you're not feeling motivated right now, or maybe you just, like if someone were to sit you down and say, what is inspiring you right now? What do you desire to do? And if you would say, I don't know, then this card is definitely for you. I think water signs in particular, there's a lot going on that I kind of think is causing this, but, I think that water signs might have a hard time being able to like determine what makes them happy, or just like what they would feel excited by doing every single day. And the good news is I feel like this week, and definitely as we get into May, that water signs could be like discovering more exciting opportunities, or water signs could be discovering things that just make them feel more excited or make them feel more driven or more successful. And I kind of just get that feeling here. I don't have any other better way of putting it with the Ace of Wands. Just is giving me this vibe of like, kind of like coming up with an idea that makes you feel more fulfilled, or coming up with something, kind of having that spark of inspiration, right? Maybe that's a better way to put it. So I do feel it could be like a motivational week for sure for you, and you could be like feeling inspired to like take action on something. You could be feeling inspired to like fix an issue in your life, or correct some sort of issue, and I definitely feel that. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Five of Cups here. It's like some sort of disappointment that you need to let go of. If you remember last year, Scorpio, a couple of times I said, I don't remember exactly when I said it, but I want to say maybe it was around June or July of last year. I said, gone are the days of Scorpio crying in their car, right? And, I think that, there's some sort of disappointment that you've been a little bit stuck on. It's kind of like the thoughts that are popping into my head here for you, Scorpio. I'm just going to tell you what they are. It's kind of like, I think that sometimes we think that the world should work a certain way. We think like, I do these things, like I'm a good person and I do things this way. Why is this other person? Why are they doing things the other way? Why are they doing things the wrong way, right? And I kind of feel like that's what you have to let go of. It's like, this could, it's popping into my head as like a person, or, someone who isn't doing things the way that you think. It could be like an ex, or, maybe it's your baby mama or your baby daddy or something like that. They're just doing, they are just, really going against the grain in your life. And, I'm not saying that you have to be okay with it, but this is about kind of like accepting it. But, again, obviously if they're doing something really bad, that's a different story. But, I'm saying like sometimes we just have to say, you know what, this person, they're not going to change. And I just need to not take that energy on. And there's something here that is saying there's like an energy that exists in your life, and you just have to, all you have to do is decide, I'm not going to take this energy on. I'm not going to make it a part of me, right? That's it. With the High Priestess, you have the Eight of Cups. Yes, you have to walk away. Eight of Cups is about walking into darkness. It is about walking away from things that no longer serve you, right? I think when we spend too much time, thinking about like what our ex is doing, or, our baby mama, baby daddy is doing, and we're saying like, oh, I can't stand that they give the kids candy every single time they see them, or, whatever it is that's pissing you off, right? It's like, if they're not going to change, it's like there's only so much you can control. And I feel like this is about not necessarily being okay with it, but, just saying like, I can't control them and I need to walk away from allowing it to affect my life, right? With the Ace of Wands, you have the Death card. You show up twice in this reading, and so whenever you show up as yourself, it really puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I feel for a lot of you, you're just kind of showing up in a strong position here. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says the answers you need are coming. You also have this card that says the energy is gaining momentum. Yes, definitely. I think this is exactly what water signs need, is momentum. So I'm happy to see that card for you, Scorpio. It's like things are building, things are getting faster, things are moving forward. Maybe you're able to make a little bit more progress than you normally would. And it just feels motivational to me. It's like, it feels like, I think when things are going well for me, I do more work, right? It makes me want to work. It makes me want to do things. So I kind of get that feeling here. You're just feeling more motivated. I like this as well. It's like you could be getting answers to questions that you have, which is great. You have the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. It's like, it's kind of crazy how like all of a sudden over the last year, Ten of Pentacles comes up for like everyone. And really, I think that it's because we're getting to the end of Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus, according to Chris's crappy astrology here, is true freedom. Uranus and Taurus wants us to be free. If you had everything you wanted and desired in your life, it kind of would give you a sense of freedom. And so the Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. It is building and leaving a legacy. But the thing about the Ten of Pentacles is that we don't just get it. Like, unless this is an inheritance that you're receiving, then usually the Ten of Pentacles is something that we build over time. And there are like certain things that we have to do to build the Ten of Pentacles. And in your situation, you have the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles would say that you have to look at the work that you're doing and you have to decide what's worth it and what's not worth it, and you have to do more work that is worth it. And the Eight of Pentacles is just straightforward, diligent work, right? He is working on one thing at a time on the Eight of Pentacles. So if you do that, it will get you closer to the Ten of Pentacles. Next, you have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is like a blessing in disguise. He's making the symbol right here that the Hierophant is making on his card. And again, it just represents a blessing in disguise. So some of you could be experiencing a blessing in disguise or some sort of blessing coming in for you after a difficult period of time. For others, I feel like you're just allowing something to die. You're just allowing something in your life to go away. And I feel that would be really good for you. I get this feeling of like release. We have the Death card twice. And the Death card is connected in like both directions here to the Ten of Swords. So it's like you're allowing something to be released. You have the Page of Cups. Could be love for those of you that want it. You even have the Emperor here. So you could be attracting like a really bossed up person if you want love. The Page of Cups can also be your dream. I always say this fish here, it might not exist, and he needs to prevent that fish from jumping into the water behind him, and he needs to grab on to that fish so that he can, manifest that dream on Earth. And a lot of you could be manifesting or trying to manifest some sort of dream on Earth with that Page of Cups, and I feel that would be really good. With the Ten of Swords, you have the High Priestess again. Yes, peeking behind the curtain. It's like, there are certain things that we all have to do that we don't want to do. That's like the uncomfortable truth of life. It's like to have a business, you have to do taxes, right? And so that's what I mean about like the things that you don't want to look at. Maybe some of you nerds out there actually do want to do your taxes, but for the rest of us, we probably don't even want to think about it. So the High Priestess says you have to kind of like look at the inner workings of something. And if you do that, then you will be able to have it with the Ten of Pentacles. But it's about accepting those things that you don't want to do. And now there are things you can do to avoid those things as well. You could get an accountant, right? So you wouldn't have to think about it as much. Maybe there are other things where you could get other people to take care of certain things for you. And that's what this is really about. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. Yeah, Three of Cups is about like learning who matters. With the Ten of Swords, it seems to me like some of you could have had issues with people, and now you could be discovering like who really supports you, who really wants you to, who wants to like lift you up and get you to the next level and all that other good stuff. So I kind of feel that feeling on the Three of Cups. It's like you're more focused on the right support or the people who actually do support you. So I do like that. With the Page of Cups, you have two cards. You have the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Definitely could be love. Page of Swords can say someone is spying on you, or you're spying on someone else, or you're both spying on each other. The Knight of Pentacles is like slow progress, no movement. He's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move. So if you want love, then some moves need to be made here. This could be putting yourself out there, getting out in public, things like that. So someone clearly has to make a move in this situation. Next, in the area messages from your future self, you have this card that says lay a solid foundation. You also have the Snake Spirit, says time to heal on it. Ten of Pentacles is a foundational energy. We have to have a solid foundation that we build the Ten of Pentacles on, and if we do that, we'll be successful. The Snake Spirit says time to heal. It is a great time for healing, all of April, all of May, and so, great time for that. The Snake, I also kind of feel like some of you are breaking a trance. It's like you're snapping out of something here, Scorpio, and, you start with the Queen of Swords, which is like ultimate clarity, getting clarity for the first time, like what you're supposed to be doing. So I definitely get that feeling on this card that you could be, breaking a trance, or it's like maybe you've been in a little bit of a fog, and now the fog is clearing and you're a little bit more clear. So it's like you're snapping out of it here, Scorpio, which I think is good. You have the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Death card. The Queen of Swords is about clarity. Like I said, she is seeing things clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body. She's looking over to the Temperance card here. Temperance is transformation, so you could be getting clarity on the things in your life that you need to transform or turn into something else. I always say that to people as well. There are a lot of cards here of cutting things out, but there's, one little difference right now. We have Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius doesn't necessarily mean that we have to like cut something out. It could mean that we can innovate on what we're doing right now, which could mean that we are transforming something. So, it's like I always kind of give that warning that we don't necessarily have to like cut every little thing out of our life to make a change. We could just be transforming it. We could just be taking something to the next level. We could be innovating our business or innovating in our career or learning something new so that we can innovate in our career. And that seems to me like what you are getting clear on with these two cards, and I would pay attention to that. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, of course, is a change in direction. And so he's looking at these Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, is it worth it for me to keep investing time, effort, energy, attention into these Seven Pentacles? Or is there something else that I could be working on? And I don't know. You have to be the one to make that decision. You have to be the one to look at the things that you're investing in, and you have to say to yourself, is it worth it or not? Is the juice worth the squeeze? If it is worth it, and if you're putting energy into something and you're getting like 2 times the amount of a result back, keep doing it. If you're doing something and you're getting like a negative result, then stop and make a change. And that's what the Seven of Pentacles wants us to do. You show up again, Death card, so definitely some transformative energy in this reading. I really like when people show up as their major arcana because it just says that you're kind of like standing out. You're showing up in the reading. It's like you're actually a part of the reading, and it puts you in a position of power and strength. The Death card can represent, change. It can represent needing to undergo a change. Also, the 2 pillars from the moon show up back here, and the sun is coming up between those 2 pillars. And so the sun brings clarity to any situation in our life. And you could be, again, with the Queen of Swords, with that Death card, gaining a bunch of clarity. Can't make this up. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Temperance card, which always cracks me up. Whenever this happens, I just feel like it's basically the universe is trying to tell me as a reader that these 2 cards are connected. And so, yeah, I already knew that these 2 cards were connected. One thing I will say about the Temperance card is sometimes I feel like the Temperance angel is trying to perfect something before he gets started. This is the path to glory over here, and he could easily just step off on that path. But it's like he's still pouring that water back and forth. So this could say, like, there's nothing more to perfect. Like, you could just get started working towards this crown that's showing up in the background there, and you could just go get your crown. I think I said that to you recently as well. As I said that, I had major deja vu. So, I probably have said that to you before. It's like there's nothing more for you to fix or for you to protect or whatever. Just like get started. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, of course, is like work hard, play hard. And so I would make sure that you are balancing the energy. I feel like you feel very motivated. Again, you have these great cards of motivation or motivation returning. And there's nothing really wrong with that, of course, Scorpio. It's like you could be putting work into things and feeling motivated. But at the same time, make sure to take care of the things that matter to you. Make sure to give your family time and all that other stuff. Don't just work, right? Balance the energy. With the Death card, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, more motivation. The Queen of Wands is about needing to be bold, assertive, and motivated and going for what you want. The Queen of Wands, she moves towards the sun. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun, like I said. So she is moving towards greatness or things that improve her life or things that make her feel better, and she moves towards her desires. Now, the problem is this black cat. Black cats in the tarot, during the times of tarot, black cats were considered unlucky. So but the whole point of the card is that she's doing something, keeping the cat because she likes the cat. So the Queen of Wands can be a warning to us. It can say like that you need to not care what anyone thinks. You just need to, do the things that you desire to do or that you feel pulled to do because you probably feel the pull for a reason, just because it's actually going to be good in your life. And other people don't know what you know. And, so, there might be people that are like, oh, don't do this, don't do that because it's risky, but they don't know how much information you've gathered. They don't know what you've learned over the years and, all that other good stuff. So it kind of says like, you need to do what you feel is right. And that's what I would do with that card. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Clean It Up card and this Higher Power card. So I would definitely say that you are guided at this time. Spring cleaning came up a lot in the May monthly readings. So, cleaning up the energy around you, creating a better space for yourself could be very beneficial with that card as well. You have the Temperance card again. We've already talked about it. Transformation, turning one thing into another, getting off on this path, getting your crown, or reclaiming your crown. You show up here twice. So again, you definitely could be kind of like reclaiming your crown at this time. I also feel you could be feeling very motivated to get started on that path because, again, it's like you're snapping out of something with that snake card. It's like you're breaking a trance. It's not really a trance. I think it's more of like the fogginess, not seeing things clearly like you haven't been for a while. And now because you do see things clearly, you're able to make better choices. You have the Emperor, not really a love reading. There's like a little bit of love here, but if you want love, sure, you could be attracting like an Emperor. Really, I kind of feel this card is saying that you are bossing up. You are making changes to boss up. He represents rebirth. He has this Ankh right here, and the Ankh is a symbol of rebirth, or kind of like a second chance. But not really like a second chance, but kind of. It's like you could be, maybe you thought about having a business in the past and you didn't do it. You could be rebirthing that now. Maybe it's some other change that you thought about making, and you are rebirthing that change now. And the Emperor says, really go for it. Really be in that bossed up energy of making things happen and taking control of your life. And if you do that, then you will be very successful. I would definitely say the Emperor could say that it's time for action. One thing I will say, though, here, Scorpio, is that sometimes when I only get the Emperor or the Empress, it says you need to balance out the other energy. So I think this is good. It's showing up in the good stuff, but it's popping into my head that also like embracing your creative side, using more creativity in like what you take action on, or coming up with creative solutions, using that Empress side is going to be important for you. Not even just this week. I would say from now until May, the entire month of May, probably the whole entire summer. And so, don't be afraid of those creative ideas. You have the Eight of Pentacles, again, getting to work. Eight of Pentacles, though, is a card of working on one thing. He's working on one project, and he's almost complete. And I definitely feel that energy for you, Scorpio, like one thing at a time. And, the problem might be is that you are feeling very creative right now, so you might have a million ideas. Write those ideas down, right? But do one at a time and you will get a lot more done. Trust me, like I suffered for a long time in my life because I had so many ideas. I would just get overwhelmed. I would overthink every single idea and I would do nothing. I would get nothing done. I always say now, what I did to change that is I came up with a 90-day rule where every 90 days I work on one thing, like one big project, right? And that's it. That's my focus. Now I get like 4 things done a year instead of getting nothing done. I used to get nothing done because I wanted to do everything. And I used to think I was running out of time and all this other stuff. But, again, now instead of getting nothing done, I get 4 things done, which is a lot better than nothing. So, again, one thing at a time with the Eight of Pentacles. And I think that will help you the most. With the Temperance card, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith in a new direction. I kind of feel the clarity is allowing you to take a leap of faith like we've already talked about. So, I feel pretty good about this. And I feel like it's just something you're doing. With the Emperor, you do have the Lovers. So definitely could be attracting a new Emperor into your life. And, I would go for it. I'm laughing because what's popping into my head here, Scorpio, is like I feel like you are being super bold with this person. Like if you're attracting a person right now, it's like maybe you wouldn't normally like make the first move or something, right? I'm just giving you an example here. It's like I feel like you're doing something that you wouldn't normally do to attract a person or to talk to a person or whatever. I don't know. It looks like it's going to work well. So, it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think we come across the right person and we just go for it. So that's what it feels like to me. And you have the Three of Cups here. So 3 of Cups would represent like meeting a person through other people. So if you're looking for love, I would definitely say socializing, being with other people would be very beneficial with that card. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is normally about being disappointed. It's a card of contemplation and apathy. He's tried to attract these things into his life before, and he's not accepting this new cup because he's tried before and he's failed. So the Four of Cups, kind of represents accepting something new into your life. But in the area of the good stuff, it can say that you are accepting something into your life that will make you happy. So I like to see that, Scorpio. You have this Valley card. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. Love it. You could be feeling very peaceful. I feel very peaceful today myself. So in these readings, so again, we like I said in the May readings, and also the rest of 2025 readings, where I said really the year starts in May. I do feel people could be feeling more at peace. You have this fly. It says a period of ill health and depression, 9 of Swords. Luckily, I think you're overcoming this. Like I made the joke, no crying in the car, Scorpio. I think you're finally like overcoming this energy. You have this egg. It says success assured with good plans and hard work. Yes, I think planning, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is about having a plan. The first step of the 10 of Pentacles is we have to have the vision. We have to understand what our perfect life would look like. And now life is never perfect. So, but we have to have that vision. I always tell people, take your dream life, multiply it by 1,000. Even if you don't get there, if you get close, your life is going to be better, right? So you have to have the vision first. So come up with a plan and then execute the plan. You have this skull card that says hidden secrets can harm you. I don't really think this is about secrets. I think this is about those things. Sometimes it's like you start dating a person and it's like, it's not like you're hiding anything, but it's like maybe you don't tell them about your beliefs or, about certain things because you're afraid of what they'll think. I think this is just saying, get it out there. Because guess what? If they don't accept you because of what you believe or something else, it's like they weren't right in the first place. So I feel this is saying, be an open book as much as you can. You have this chain card. It says chain of events that will affect your life. Yeah, I think things are adding up for you now. I think things are moving forward, moving in a direction. It's like you're finally connecting the dots. But this looks really good, Scorpio. I like it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.